Let's talk to Jonathan Davies, the Chartered Financial Planner in the City. Thanks for joining us on Afternoon Live. Good idea?
I think it's a dreadful idea. All it's going to do is suck unsuspecting apparent first-time buyers into a falling market. How can it possibly help people to save, say, £1,500 to lose £30,000 on a property which is likely, given recent performance and expected performance, a property to fall off from 150,000 to 120,000? How does that possibly help?
So what you're suggesting is that it potentially might be a good idea, but it's the wrong time.
I'm not suggesting that. I think it's a dreadful idea. It shouldn't happen. The housing market is totally outside of economic fundamentals. It should be allowed to get back to economic fundamentals. Then those first-time buyers that Gordon Brown and Alistair Darling are trying to help will be able to buy at proper prices.
OK, but what about a stamp duty holiday once those prices have been achieved?
Well, at that point, then the government will need to raise taxes somehow. The fact is, the last 5-7 years, an enormous amount of money has come from stamp duty. So it's helped Gordon Brown, who was then Chancellor, to keep personal taxes down. So, you know, he had property taxes instead. Whether or not he'll have a stamp duty free in a couple of years' time, I have no idea what the fiscal position will be then. Of course, we don't also know who will be in charge then, because likelihood it's going to be George Osborne, if you look at the political polls.
OK, but he has to do something, or has to be seen to be potentially doing something to
Why?
try to reboot the housing market, which is in the doldrums and doing nothing, perhaps even, well, as you say, slipping consistently over the last few months.
Absolutely.
Doesn't he, as the Prime Minister, have to be, and the Chancellor, have to be seen to be doing something to try to arrest that change?
As a politician, they have to be seen to be trying to do something. As economic managers, as far as I'm concerned, Gordon Brown was the worst economic financial manager for 100 years. The fact that he calls himself the most successful Chancellor just because he was there for 10 years, look at the amount of debt in society, the amount of debt that the government has. Interest rates are rising, unemployment's rising, house prices are falling, sterling's plummeting. This is not the result of good economic management. This is the result of dreadful economic management. A few years ago, Gordon Brown could easily have turned off the easy lending taps to slow things down and stop us having the hectic situation that we've had. The fact is, he didn't do it because he's a politician. And all they're doing now is throwing more money at the situation, and all that does in the medium and long term is it will increase our interest rates further, it'll increase our taxes or reduce our public services. That's the result of printing money. OK,
final thought. What would you say to anybody who's thinking about buying a property at any level at the moment?
Here we are, September 2008. I would say that the housing market is in a state of collapse, and it will continue being in a state of collapse for at least 2 years, if not 3 or 4. In other words, don't touch property with a barge pole. OK. Mr. Davies, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We do appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. Do let us know what you